Did you want to get there early or on time?
Just 10 minutes early.
Okay, you'll arrive. The flower shop itself is kind of there's a somewhat commercial district to Council Island where there's like some tourist spots. The Nan especially has a bunch of like different quote unquote lodges, which are kind of serve as cultural museums and tourist attractions. In that same area, there are a number of restaurants and other.
Actually, Tortoise will show interest to those tourist attractions and also those cultural things.
Yeah.
He has an art education and engineering education, so he will be interested in those local stuff.
Okay, so Tortoise will find like a 30-minute tour for the Great Medicine Lodge, which essentially just talks about like the Nan, how it was formed, like the traditions of the Salish and the Sioux. They will like tell you about like the local tribes and how they have developed from the Fifth World into the Sixth World. They'll tell you all about like Haida and Coquitlam and all of these different kind of aspects of Native American culture.
Tortoise will squeeze all of that into his brain, and this is why he will be late to the meeting.
Tortoise, make me, I think it's a perception intuition. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a straight up perception test for perceiving magic. Just roll me your perception.
Okay, I'm not magically active, you know that, right?
Yes, I know that. But anybody can actually perceive, can sense the presence of magic. They just can't learn anything more about it.
Okay.
Okay, well, good. Okay, so Tortoise, you're brought into this kind of nice spectacle, and there's a number of times when the tour guide will bring you to meet one of the officials in the museum, and he'll do some kind of demonstration, and there'll be a light show or something will float up in the air, and it will be very a number of the tourists will be quite impressed and amazed, and they'll bring you to artifacts that say these are legendary ancient artifacts full of power and magic. And you just see through all of that bullshit. There is absolutely nothing magical in the Great Medicine Lodge. It is all just hokey put on for the tourists. But the information seems to be true.
Yeah, the point I realized, I will leave the place.
All right. Yes, you'll exit. You'll probably have about 15 minutes before you meet. Maybe you'll stop off and get a beaver tail before you head over to the what's it called? Before you head over to Marge's flower shop.
All right.
Blue, where are you coming from and what are you bringing? All that good stuff.
Right, mute myself. I am coming from downtown in my lovely fun one. I will open my pocket the little bone necklace I just made. I will bring my combat knives, and I'll leave, and my bow. I have licenses, I think, for everything. But I will leave the. No, I think I actually have licenses for everything on this end, so yeah, I'll just come with all my gear in my trunk. Otherwise, wear my sleeping tiger.
Alright, sounds good. So, on the bridge, there's a toll booth where they sometimes have random security checks, just because it's Council Island. They want to be a little bit extra careful. The officer will kind of give you a look for a moment, and he'll kind of say, "Ma'am, I'm going to need to check your ID."
Yeah, she'll. However, I didn't hold up her comm link with it.
He'll arrange that you've got a rating for us, and at least, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. He'll look at it and he'll say, "Oh, it's obviously he's a little bit conflicted. It's he wants to have a problem with you, but he doesn't really have any grounds to." And he'll just kind of acquiesce, and I'll say, "But ma'am, I need to make sure that there's absolutely no tolerance for disturbing the peace on Council Island, if you know what I mean."
She'll shrug. Sure.
Okay, and then he'll kind of wave you through. You get the sense that maybe somebody, like you're probably in some database somewhere that's like, if anything goes wrong today on Council Island, maybe look up this person. Otherwise, you drive in.
All right.
Sorry, Alim, where are you coming from? What are you bringing? Okay, well, change your name on my table then.
Oh yeah. uh, Alim is coming on an Uber or taxi or whatever Seattle has on these days.
There's a monorail that goes like pretty much straight to Council Island if you want to take that.
Well, then he'd probably take an Uber to the monorail and then. Because god damn it, he's too old for this. Walking.
You're an elf. You're perpetually young.
He actually looks old-ish for an elf.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry, because you're aged.
Yes.
So you'll arrive via monorail to like I said, Council Island is very much a tourist trap in some respects. So public access and transportation are readily available. You'll get a few looks as you go through security, but they'll kind of wave you through. Are you looking to get there on time or early or what?
In time, or maybe just a handful of minutes early.
Does Alim have etiquette?
Alim has etiquette, yes.
Roll me Alim's etiquette, because he's a new Shadowrunner. I don't know if he knows what like the proper protocol for a meet is. Like, should you arrive early, or is it like bad taste to arrive early?
He's run a shop for years, so I think he probably expects things to be similar.
He might expect things to be similar, but running a business and being a shadow runner is very different. Okay, yeah, so Alim suspects that like being ridiculously early and showing up there is probably distasteful, but it might be smart to like be on location a little bit early.
Yeah, he'll probably arrive like somewhere between 15 and 5 minutes early and see if he can get himself a soy cup and something.
Okay, yeah. So you'll arrive right in. But then, Hoxton, where are you coming from? Where are you bringing all that good stuff?
Hoxton's coming from downtown. He just got his car back. I don't know if you can drive over the bridge or if it's walking only.
Yeah, I believe you can drive over the bridge.
Okay, then yeah, he'll bring his car. He's wearing his armor jacket, but the only stuff he's bringing he has permits for, which would be his revolvers and general knickknacks.
Give me. So as you kind of like are in your car, the one of the men in the toll booths will kind of like give you a second look as you're wearing an armor jacket, which is pretty standard fare in a lot of Seattle, but tourists definitely don't wear that kind of thing. And he'll kind of give you an up and down over, probably checking you out in the Matrix. Is your weaponry online?
Yeah, it's online. It's marked as concealed carry permit with the weapon permits right there under it.
Okay. So he'll kind of like give you a stare, and then he'll say, kind of in the same way he did with Blue, obviously wanting to have a problem, but without really having the reason to warrant detaining you, which is probably very restrained for officers in the Sixth World. And I'll just say, listen here, bud. This is Council Island. We don't tolerate any kind of public disturbance, if you understand what I mean.
Understood, officer. Do you know how close Council Island is to Bellevue? Like, it was only a couple of months ago that crazy demon attacked. Could never be too sure.
The officer will kind of like, actually make me a negotiate. Oh no, make me an etiquette. Yeah, the officer will kind of acquiesce. As you see, maybe for like a moment, a little bit of like fear kind of like encroach over his face and say, yeah, it was crazy. We were on high alert that day. I didn't know if they were going to be coming here. The Nan brought in some of astrally projecting mages and spirits. That was some scary bullshit. Anyway, have a good day, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna like thank you for serving, officer, and drive off.
Okay, Hoxton, did you want to arrive early or late or?
Probably 5 minutes early, just enough so that I'm not lost when I get on site and I'm looking for wherever I'm actually going.
Okay, cool. So then you guys will see each other eventually. It sounds like pretty much everybody's gonna get to the actual storefront at around the same time, which is like pretty soon, towards noon. The storefront itself is kind of understated because there's a brick facade, very much kind of a Victorian feel to the outside. Some like arches that are detailed with like cherubs and other kind of like floral imagery, but in the back you can see like this great arching dome, which you suspect is probably the greenhouse itself.
And we kind of see each other as we're all heading that way.
Yeah, those of you who know each other, I mean, like Blue and Tortoise probably stand out a lot more than Alim does, but.
Well, this is actually the start of a joke. An orc, a troll, a human, and an elf.
It's a punchline to a bad joke.
Yeah. No punchline. That's my joke.
The punchline is your face.
Is there any watchers or anything outside the building?
Are there any what, sorry?
Watchers?
No. You do see a few watchers kind of like flitting around every now and then, Blue, but you don't see any that seem to be dedicated to this building in particular. However, though, Blue, like the dome itself, when you kind of do look at it in the back, and in your astral perception, is just this kind of vibrant, almost wall, as you suspect that there's quite a bit of plant life there, which has its own natural protections against astral intrusion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. Give Hoxton a wary look.
You said you gave Hoxton a look?
Yeah.
What kind of look?
Wary.
Oh, wary look. Okay. Yeah, Hoxton's probably giving you an equally wary look. I'm gonna roll a thing really quick.
Go for it.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, when you turn to give Hoxton a wary look, he's like kind of impolitely staring, like with 4 hits. How easy is it to tell that you're not the Blue that he left 3 months ago?
I have cyber eyes and a cyber arm.
Yeah, those obvious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Used where.
Okay.
Definitely someone else's borrowed eyes.
That's good. So he's probably looking more at that stuff than just like staring at your skin, going, "What's not quite right?" But as you look at him, he'll kind of sigh, and he'll say, "How you been?"
Hi.
Yeah, he just nods, like, "All right." Then he says, "Glad you're all right. Something the matter? Something not right up here?"
I just don't think I like this place.
Do you want to wait outside?
Please.
I'll let them know. And then
I'll-
Hoxton.
I'll stay here.
Yeah,
She'll just point at like the doorstep.
yeah. Hoxton will just nod and then continue in himself, as he doesn't know Tortoise or Al.
Well, as Tortoise sees Blue, he gives a respectful nod and approaches the Blue. Thanks for the. I didn't have a chance to say this. I believe it was a rough week at the time, but yeah, thanks for the help at that time.
Oh, yeah, you, yes.
Hey. Name Tortoise.
blue.
Turns to Hoxton, gives a nod him too.
All sorts of new faces around here since I left. Why do they call you Tortoise?
Well, there is no reason to show that now, I believe.
Fair.
But yeah, I protect people. As he say that, he stops a mid-sentence and he just stands there silence.
Is this where you would normally do some sort of flourish with like whatever gimmick you use to protect people with?
Oh, this is not the place, I believe. As he looks around the cleanish place.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Blue's gonna wait outside. Let's head in.
Didn't catch your name, man. What's your name?
Oh, right. You can call me Hoxton.
He stops.
Hoxton
Oh,
extends a
so
hand.
you are the Hoxton. He also extends his arm. We were searching for you in Constantinople.
Yeah, wasn't lost, but appreciate the help.
Well, I also appreciate the help because that one gave me the chance to go back to my hometown. Thanks, man.
Hoxton kind of cocks his head to the side, like, huh, yeah, glad we could make that
I'm
happen.
Turkish. Yeah.
Yeah, Turkey, hell of a place. Really,
Oh, you wouldn't believe.
really athletic guards. And then Hoxton kind of nods his head, like, we're about to be late, let's go.
Righto.
Okay, well, so then you guys will eventually kind of enter into the storefront itself. It's compared to the outside, which is perhaps maybe a little bit old-fashioned. The inside is quite the slice of cutting-edge technology. You don't see any actual physical flowers, but in AR you see a lot of arrows of bouquets and arrangements, and you can go up to them and kind of like change the arrangements and what kind of flower types you want. You can even like cross-reference with particular flowers that are in the greenhouse right now and create your own bouquets, or there are small like not true AIs, but algorithm programs that will like recommend certain flowers to go with other ones, or for what occasion that you need. The building itself seems to be largely unstaffed. It seems to be a large degree of self-service here, using the AR assistants. If you do wink into AR for a moment and like really concentrate, you'll even see a few personas walking around that aren't physically present. You get the sense that maybe Marge's offers a totally virtual reality experience where people from all across the world can kind of hop in through the matrix and do their shopping that way. Otherwise, you'll see a kind of vibrant middle-aged woman, human female, dark, dusty brown hair with freckles, maybe a little on the plump side, but not too much. And she's just kind of standing at what looks like a front desk.
Is it possible to order via AR while we're walking, or would I have to walk up to a terminal?
No, yeah, you can just like, as long as you're within the premises of the store itself, you can just bring up a display menu.
All right, just while we're walking up that way, Hoxton's gonna shift through the menus. What would it cost to buy a 3-flower bouquet of probably like 2? God, I can't remember what they're called. Essentially 2 blue flowers and 1 white.
Well, these are real flowers. I'm gonna say 100 million.
Oh, these are gonna ship real flowers somewhere?
Yeah, this is like the greenhouse out back is where they grow their own flowers, and you get those actual physical flowers somewhere.
Okay, never mind. That would probably go over poorly.
I mean, like if you wanted to get like they do offer AR flowers, like, you know, just like matrix objects of flowers that you can give to someone, but it doesn't seem like they've really. It seems like essentially what they do is bouquets orders that they receive, they will just kind of typograph into matrix objects, and then you have an option to buy those for like 10 million if you really want them.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Hoxton will just dismiss the window and focus back on the lady.
Tortoise will actually do. One of the greatest contact, Wu Ming, I believe, the armory owning lady, the old lady. She has 3 daughters, I believe. Tortoise will send a flower to the middle daughter of the Wu Ming.
Okay. Do you know where Wu Min's daughter lives?
Well, I will. I will take the risk of losing loyalty and send it to the workplace where they work.
Okay.
Actually.
Where they work. All right. So how much are you looking to spend on these flowers?
Well, I would be fair. I didn't listen when you explained that to Hoxton. How much they cost?
So like 3 Hoxton was looking for like a 3 flower floral arrangement, and I said about 100 million because these are actual flowers grown in.
I will go with 200 then. Let's go with that.
200? Okay, for 200 you can get like a really nice quality bouquet. Does Wu Min live in Seattle?
I believe so. It is a great contact, I believe.
Okay. Well, I ask because
I have a connection. I have it as a contact too, so I know where she lives.
Yeah, I can see. I got her up here. Connection 4, loyalty 3. I was just wondering because Marge will ship abroad, and she'll happily tell you that for a small fee. But shipping is completely free within the Seattle Metroplex.
Nice.
So go ahead, Tortoise, and mark off 200 million, and they'll tell you that by the end of tomorrow's business day, the flowers will be delivered, probably by drone.
We'll do that. Thank you, Miss Mess. Or whatever.
Well, you're not speaking directly to Marge. This is completely done in AR.
I'm gonna tell him that's just an AR image you're looking at, buddy. It doesn't respond.
There's like a little animated flower buddy that accompanies you around the building.
And I will leave a Turkish a card, a message on the card.
Oh, okay.
Possible.
Something in Turkish?
Leave a message. Yep.
Okay, what do you want to say in Turkish?
That's not for you. That's not for you to read.
All right, well then you tell whoever needs to know what that says.
Okay.
That's adorable.
All right, so you get it off. At this point, it's probably like 12:02, 12:03.
Yeah, start looking around if anybody else looks like they're impatiently waiting. Otherwise, you said there was somebody standing behind the desk.
Yeah, who you like in AR? There's a little name tag that very proudly pronounces herself as Marge.
Hi, Marge.
Just kind of give you an up and down, and pretty quickly by your armored jacket, she'll say, "You're here to see Mr. Amaranth?"
Oh, we sure are. Do you know where his whereabouts are?
She'll kind of just nod, and then she'll go under the desk and she'll produce 3 corsages. 4 actually. I always mix that up. 4 because she was expecting 4 runners. This is the second time that 3 runners have shown up instead of 4. And she will present 1 to each of you. I assume Alim is accompanying these guys.
I assume he would just see them about now and approach them and just get into the conversation now.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys will get a corsage. And you guys have floral knowledge?
Oh yeah, like 6 ranks. No, what do you? No, nobody does.
I got the same reaction last time I asked this.
Alim, do you have?
I have lots of question marks. No, I don't think
anybody
so.
have history? I think you might have something like that, Tortoise.
I I actually should have, but no, I don't.
I'll let you use art. Roll me your art knowledge.
Okay, it is 7 dice.
Is it related to magic in any way or spiritual?
Not even a little bit.
No idea then.
Ah,
I mean, sometimes flowers are used in art, Tortoise. Your mind goes back to a Monet painting of water lilies, but beyond that. Otherwise, there's just the corsages themselves have like smaller, lesser flowers in them, but the central design aspect is this brilliant yellow flower that I don't think any of you guys recognize because nobody has floral knowledge.
I appreciate the beauty of itself.
Yeah, Hoxton just sees her holding the extra corsage and will say, "Our fourth is here, but won't be joining us. Is that going to be a problem?"
She'll kind of corsage is something you wear on your suit or your arm, Rufy. It's a French word. I don't know how to spell it.
Croissant is a breakfast sandwich.
Yes, that's
I
right.
know.
She won't offer you any croissants, though. Sorry.
That was the joke.
Don't try to eat it. Don't eat it.
She'll kind of nod to you, Hoxton, and she'll say, "It's not up to me. It's up to Mr. Amaranth. I'm just here to facilitate a location."
Good, great. These are lovely, by the way. And where is our employer?
She'll kind of like just make a motion with her head towards the greenhouse in the back.
Yeah, Hoxton will follow her nod, look her back in the eyes, and say, "Thank you very much. Lovely place you got here," and just kind of like rap his knuckles on the table before turning and heading that way.
Did you put on the corsage that she gave you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's got like a little wristband thing or if I gotta like pin it to my jacket, but he'd probably.
No, there's
fix it.
there's a little pin in it.
He's probably affixing it while he was talking to her.
Okay, cool. And does everyone else do the same?
I follow.
Sure.
These aren't secretly bombs; they're just flowers. If Alim would like to sense them, he will find that there is nothing but it's just a flower. There's nothing magical about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys will enter the through a door. Marge will like do something in AR behind you guys because the door originally will ask for like a 25 new yen admission fee, but the doors will then just kind of wink into green before you guys go to pay, and the doors open up. In back, you see this giant sprawling space of just rows upon rows upon rows of different kinds of flowers and other plants. If you look above you, there's like a small a balcony that you can kind of go up to, and there's an area there where you can like buy some like refreshments. Otherwise, you see this kind of very well dressed gentleman who's a little bit older, an older male, in this kind of very fine, slim fitting navy suit, and standing beside him looks like a younger human female with like a shape. Part of her head is shaved, and the rest is kept the same. Is unshaven. I'll throw up their pictures here. And they're just standing towards the back, and they seem to be like both of them seem to be examining a yellow group of flowers that look very much similar to the ones that you're wearing.
Okay. How did Marge pronounce the guy's name?
Amaranth.
Amaranth. Amaranth. Okay. Hoxton will just kind of look at his flower and look at their flowers. Say, Mr. Amaranth.
He'll kind of mutter something to the woman beside him, and she'll give a curt nod, and then she'll kind of like walk back a few paces, obviously enough to give you guys like space to talk without being overheard, but enough that she can still see the group. And then he'll turn towards all of you, and he'll say, good afternoon, gentlemen. And then I'll kind of look over the three of you and say, I thought there was supposed to be another larger.
There is. She's currently waiting outside. She has your best interest in mind, and she didn't have a good feeling about this location.
He'll just kind of nod slowly and he'll say, I can understand that. I picked this location in particular for discretion, and he'll kind of like wave his hands towards the flowers themselves and the exclusivity.
Yeah, it's nice.
Nothing about discretion bother her. She's connected in ways I don't understand, and well, when she has a bad feeling, it's important. So she's waiting outside, but rest assured, she'll carry out any task that you provide us with.
He'll look like for a little bit of a moment, like a little bit perplexed, and maybe for like a single moment, like a little bit hurt. And he'll say, I hope it was nothing about my reputation. I extend only hospitality and discretion towards the people I meet with. You are under no risk when you come here.
Hoxton kind of grins at the notion that it might have been him, and says, "No, nothing like that, sir. If she had a problem with you, I think she would have said as much. She's very blunt. Her problem had something to do with the astral, I think."
He'll kind of like nod slowly, not fully understanding why. He definitely gets the notion of the astral, but doesn't know why she would have a problem with it. And then he'll just say, well, if that is the way it is, we'll just have to assume that she will not be a part of these negotiations, and I'll have to allow you to vouch for her confidence. Gentlemen, I have a job for you and this is rather short notice. I apologize in many ways for this, but an organization is having an impromptu meeting which is giving me and the people I work for a very unique opportunity to gather intel we have never had.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would be able to, I would really appreciate and will be willing to compensate you for for you to obtain this information and hand it over to me.
Can you give us any information about what kind of intel we're looking at, or who we're looking at obtaining it from?
He'll kind of nod and he'll say, I can tell you all of that after we have entered a formal agreement. Until then, knowledge of this meeting is extremely confidential and proprietary. The fact that I know it at all actually puts me at great risk. So to share that with you would burden the same risk, and I don't want to put you in that position if you want to walk away.
What about
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the timeline we'll be working within? You said short notice. Is this a by tonight project?
By tomorrow night, the meeting will be taking place. I suspect that many of the attendants will linger until the following morning into the afternoon, but otherwise you are on an extremely short deadline, yes.
And what exactly are you expecting from us?
I need you to find the receptacle of the information, and I need you to find its owner so that you can take something off of him which allows the user to access the information in that receptacle.
And what are you planning to pay us?
He'll look like a little bit sheepish about this, which is probably maybe a little unusual for those of you who are more experienced runners. Amaranth seems to be a little bit more open and vulnerable than some other Johnsons that you worked with. He does seem to be, he definitely seems to wear his emotions on his sleeve. He'll say, well, as I said, this is extremely short notice, so unfortunately the budgeting was not quite aligned to better favor everything, to better favor and respect the assets that you bring. I tell you very regretfully, I only have 20,000 nuyen available in stock to pay you collectively. However, I do have some other goods which I might hope would allow you to, which you might accept in place of monetary compensation.
Okay,
I assuming they are not just bunch of flowers.
He'll actually chuckle at that, Tortoise, and he'll say, no, these are actually quite rare and powerful magical goods.
Oh, is that so? That is a very tantalizing offer. Before we move on, though, you said that you would need us to acquire something from a target?
Yes. So the target himself, and as he says him, he kind of like makes this little bit of like he screws up his face, and you obviously can almost hear him mentally reprimanding himself for giving away the gender of the target. And then I'll say, and the target on their person has a key which will allows one to access the receptacle. There is no way via matrix nor magic to access this information without that key.
Very well. I just wanted to make it clear that we are not talking about stealing somebody's hand or eyes.
No, he'll kind of like give like a moment of like vulnerability, like of a nervous laughter. I'll say, no, nothing like this. It's not biometrically locked or linked to his person like that. It's the object itself, and the one who holds it is the one who can access the receptacle. It's very much the same way a key in a door lock work.
Very well. So you were saying about magical items.
He'll nod and he'll say, yes, I have two magical items which might be worth a great deal if they were to be sold, or if at your discretion they could be kept and used for your own purposes.
Riku, I don't have anything interesting in the magical item. I'm not one of those guys giving a head nudge towards the Alim. But I believe contacts are always profitable, giving a stare to the man itself.
That could be arranged too. There definitely would be a measure of goodwill be going towards runners who were willing to take IOUs, and I'll do little air quotes.
I give him a nod.
So, no Nujan on the table, but a...
Oh no, he did offer Nuyen. He's got $20,000 collectively, so that's split between all of you guys.
Okay.
And then he also has these magical objects that he would be willing to give to you as well.
He didn't say what they were.
No, he hasn't.
Maybe could we know the specifics about this magical object?
He'll kind of nod and he'll say, I will say that as with many magical objects, their shelf life is limited beyond, extremely powerful artifacts or foci. Most magic's prepared in that way. And I'll kind of like look at you, Alim, in like a kind of proprietary professional sense, like just, expecting you to know these kinds of things. That's some objects cannot be infused with magic much longer than a week or a month, depending on how powerful they are. However, these in particular are called Sylvan Aegises. They endow a being with a level of protection once used that rivals most modern armor.
That is most interesting. I am, at least, my curiosity is piqued.
He says, I have two of such these objects. I can give one of them to you now if you'd wish, so that you can examine them and have it as collateral should the job go south, and then you would be given a second one upon completion.
This sounds most amenable to me. And Alim will look around.
Well, I'm jealous, that's for sure.
So he'll reach into his pocket and produce what looks like a small silver ring. It looks like quite ornate, and the design itself looks like twisting vines and leaves. And at the center, there's a small glass, like covering that you can tell like can be opened, and inside of the covering itself looks like a tiny like piece of quartz. And he'll say. Once touched, the stone within the ring will endow the user with a level of powerful protection that will not last for very long, so use it wisely.
Is there anything I can roll to know about this? My magic traditions, ascensing.
Yeah, you can roll any and all of that if you really want. So, like, you just tell me what you want. Do you want to assense it to get a sense of its magical power, or you can try and roll artificing to like figure out what exactly it is. You can roll me, I think it's intuition alchemy, just to try and recognize it as a preparation on the spot.
I wanna do all of those.
Okay,
To
all
be
of
honest.
them. How about you start off with give me an assensing test for it?
Yes, sounds appropriate. And at this point, Alim is very, very curious about it. It's like, this is very. He probably takes the ring, approaches to his face.
Also, just so like I can be clear, out of character for mechanically, the quartz, like the stone inside the ring itself, is the magical object with a contact trigger. So if you open it up and touch it with your living hands, it will trigger.
So, do you want me to give you the load of the roll?
I just got I brought up my sensing table. Okay, so it's an object, so you don't tell anything about that. You can tell the class of the magical subject, so it's a magical compound.
You say alchemy plus intuition?
That's to recognize if it's a preparation offhand.
Yeah. Would I apply the Firebringer's bonus here? I think it.
Yeah, I'd allow you to do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so you can tell, Alim can tell that this is not a preparation in the sense of like the thing you just made, which is like all you need to do is spend a few minutes creating a magical object. This is a preparation. This is a kind of more advanced kind of magic that lasts longer and is more substantial and requires special ingredients.
Okay.
And if you want, you can roll me your artificing to like actually get a sense of what this is.
I don't have artificing, apparently.
Okay, well then you can't do that.
Hoxton's gonna ask out loud while
Thank you.
Alim is finally like just looking at this thing, and say, "What approximately is the street value for something like this?"
Are you asking Alim or Amaranth?
Amaranth.
He'll give you like he'll give it a look the same way an appraiser would, and he'll say, I mean, it really depends on who you're buying it from and to, which this job actually might give you the opportunity to sell it. That's part of why I'm giving this good to you, so that you are given the proprietary opportunity to make your own money. Roughly that piece there would be worth 12,000 to you.
Oh man, this guy. And Hoxton said, he's like, this guy's got some nerve. He's giving us a job and making us earn our own money. But on the outward expression, it's just like a nodding, like, oh wow, 12,000. Yeah, and I guess I look at Alim to see if he has any idea if that's an accurate assessment.
I think I'm missing all my rolls to know much. Like, I got 2 for Ascensing and 3 for the alchemy knowledge. I know it's not an alchemical thing.
It is an alchemical thing. Like, it is made through alchemy, but it's made through like advanced alchemy. This is like the kind of stuff initiates do. So that's probably why you don't know a lot about it, because you're not initiated through alchemy.
Oh. This is excellent craftsmanship.
Also, Alim, when you assensed it, you got like a really weird vibe. Like This doesn't
Yep.
feel like necessarily like metahuman magic.
Okay. This is rather unique piece. So its value might be difficult to estimate, but it exists. That's without a doubt.
Did you just tell me it exists?
Yeah, that the value exists.
Oh, okay.
This is a thing, and then
Yeah.
Well, actually,
that's a
Alim
thing
can
of
tell
ages.
you that there is a market for fake magical objects. There are ways alchemists can create, like, to make objects seem magical without actually being magical. So Alim's tests essentially verify that it is in fact a magical object.
Mhm.
We're not getting bamboozled.
um,
I do have another question. Kind of nodding back to the Johnson and say, without going into details, what kind of venue are we looking at here? Is this going to have heavy security? My big blue friend outside isn't exactly subtle.
He'll actually kind of like smile a little bit and say, actually, depending on how you decide to approach the circumstance, there might be very little security. I'll have to go into the details, or you'll learn more details if you choose to accept the job. But the venue of the meeting itself does not necessarily have to be the point of infiltration. As I said, these individuals are coming to Seattle for the meeting, which is why I called you here today so early. If you act quickly, you can intercept this individual and the receptacle before they meet in that location.
Fair enough. Two of these gadgets, and I kind of gesture towards the rings. I say, and 20,000 total.
He'll nod and say, "Are these terms amenable?"
To me, yeah.
I still believe we can squeeze something out.
Okay. What else are you looking for there, Tortoise?
That's the problem, I don't know.
I mean, you can try and negotiate for more money, or you can try and negotiate for favors. You can try, if you want the money in escrow, or if you want like the 20,000 up front, you can try and negotiate for that.
Well, I just want to... This guy, from the eyes of a tortoise, this guy looks important. That's for sure for Tortoise. So he kind of gained the favor of this guy, but he doesn't want to leave this place empty-pocketed too. So he doesn't want to tick the guy off, but he wants to trust the guy and gains favor. What am I even saying? Okay, let's talk about it.
It sounds like Tortoise is kind of struggling on what exactly to do next, and part of it sounds like it's based off of his reaction to the Johnson. So if you want to try and roll a judge intentions for me on the Johnson, and like how honest is he being, and like is he gonna dupe you, or like what's going on, you can do that.
Okay, he'll do that.
Alim, still examining the ring, will ask, who made this thing?
He seems really honest in what he's saying. The Johnson will turn, Amaranth will turn towards you, and he'll say, that I can tell you that after you've accepted the job. Unfortunately, the information about who exactly crafted it is tied intimately with what exactly is going on here.
Well, I am curious now. I am inclined
not.
to accepting it.
Well, I will follow it. I need money.
As good as motivation as any.
Always. That's the foundation of everything. Nobody can deny that, right?
Nope, nobody can deny that.
He just looks around and expects a confirmation. Okay, okay, I accept too.
He'll kind of nod and he'll say, and I assume that your acceptance can also be extended onto the behalf of your blue friend.
You can.
Amaranth will
How do
nod.
you know he is blue?
Amaranth will like kind of give you a look and say, Mr. Louis Sands did tell me a level of your experience, your expertise, and your physical descriptions, along with the fact that Mr. Hoxton here did refer to her as large and blue.
Both true
Okay.
things.
Amaranth will then like address Hoxton and say, and then withdraw from his coat again a small data chip and say, everything that you'll need to know about the specific job is on here.
As I reach forward and take that, is the girl still in earshot, or not earshot, but eyesight?
Yes.
I just wanna look at her like briefly and see if I can figure out her deal with like a judge intention.
Yeah, go for it.
I rolled to sense them earlier. I think probably got missed.
Probably. What was your hits on that?
3. I can roll for each of them, or you can just.
Yeah, it's okay. You can do both of them. So the guy, I'll roll her judge intentions, which isn't great. Okay. So Alim, you got a 3. So you can tell that the guy in front of you is Matt. He's awakened. He seems pretty jovial, if a little bit nervous. He doesn't have any cyberware implants. You've never seen his aura before. What is your magic rating?
6.
6. He has a lower magic rating than you. And he doesn't have any like maladies, and there are no astral signatures beyond his own present on him. The woman across the way, you look at her and you get like this kind of weird dissonance for a moment as you kind of like look at her in the astral, and you see her idealized form, but then like overlaid top of it, you see like these beautiful like several wings sprouting from her body, and then kind of haphazardly eyes will open up across her skin.
That's not creepy at all.
Yeah, not creepy at all. And you take a moment to focus, and you realize that it is not just her in her astral form. Like in the astral plane, there are 2 beings in that one space, which you can. She's currently possessed.
Does it look like it's a? I don't know if I can tell if it's a voluntary thing or.
Alim, especially as an Islamic mage, would know that there are several traditions like Egyptian Kabbalism, voodoo, that have their system of spirit conjuring is totally based in possession. So it doesn't look like the woman is like trying to rip. Here's the way I can put it. You can see the woman's aura as well as the spirits. Yeah. So if the spirit was possessing her, the woman would be dormant.
Okay.
Hoxton, you can look at her and you can tell she's really nervous and off kilter, but it's not about you guys. Like, it's not the kind of nervousness a bodyguard has, like when he's like ready to go just in case something goes awry. You can tell that she's just very uncomfortable and maybe inexperienced.
Okay, and she's not like physically armed or anything like that, is she?
No, yeah, you don't see anything like that. She's not even wearing any kind of armor.
Okay, I just snatch the data chip then and pull back into line with my team. Fired off that message, and I have a data jack, so just fire off that message mentally to Blue, in case anything happens in case she says anything before I slot it, basically. Do I get anything back from Blue?
I see some flickering, but we don't get you.
Yeah, we're seeing your light, but not your voice.
You probably muted the Discord and the mic itself.
Nope.
Maybe she lost her voice.
No
That's a
answer.
possibility.
That makes sense.
Has she been a mermaid all along?
Hoxton waits for a moment, doesn't get a response, and then
Hmm.
goes ahead and slots the data chip.
Okay. Inside, you will find like a multitude of information. Did you want to take a moment to try and analyze it all here, or did you want to like meet somewhere else?
No, once I see that there's just a data dump, I'll say is it safe to assume your contact information is in here somewhere?
Yeah, you pretty quickly you can do like a quick search for a comm code that is linked to him.
All right, and Hoxton will turn to his teammates and say, "I think we've got everything we need. You guys ready to leave?"
Before you do leave, though, he will actually kind of say very quickly, if things do become severe and intense, and you have both the information and the object on hand, he'll kind of nod towards the woman in the back. Miss Vey back there will assist you if you need her. There's another comm code there that you assume is hers. Just send her a message and your location, and she will astrally project to your current vicinity and aid you as best she can.
Alim, is she within conversation range, or is she far away?
She's far enough away that she can't hear you guys conversationally, but if you like yell to her, you can talk to her.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna start yelling about the details of a Shadowrun. So how do you think we should do this illegal thing? No, that's not. I mean, no. But Alim will ask then Amaranth. Is she a channeler, or is that her tradition?
He'll kind of give you like a little bit of a look of surprise, and also like kind of like gladness. He's like, oh, this guy was perceptive enough to notice that. He'll say, actually, both. Miss Vey is a Kabbalist mage who has learned the means of channeling Elohim.
Ah, very interesting. I am already glad I accepted this job.
He'll kind of smile and say, I hope so. Miss Vey is actually currently under my protection. In a sense, she is my ward. She came under some duress very recently with some of the people you actually will be associating with for this job.
Mm.
He'll kind of give you all like a quick nod and say, he'll look at, he actually has a physical watch, and he'll say, I do not have very much time though. I hope that, I wish you luck. Please keep me updated. Otherwise, he'll kind of turn and give a nod towards the woman and say, we do have to be making our way.
Yeah, Hoxton has another question, but he holds it back as the Johnson indicates he needs to go.
Okay, so the Johnson and his friend will leave the flower shop through the front door. As he walks out the front door, I assume he'll see Blue sitting on the stoop, and he'll like kind of like give her a moment of surprise, and then just turn and leave.
I'm not like awkwardly we just said goodbye, but I'm going the same direction as you following him, but like I'm following him, 15, 20 paces.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So pop my head out the door after he does.
Oh yeah, Blue, you would definitely see in the woman's body, she's currently dual-natured, and she is possessed by an air spirit.
As we get outside, Hoxton will walk up to Blue and kind of like point with just a head nod towards the woman, if they can still see him, and he's gonna say, "I don't trust her."
She's potentially rather powerful, and we've been promised her help.
Yeah, she's offering to help deal with the people that recently abused her. That only ends one way. Blue, where's your comlink? I think we heard you that time. If you want to try again.
Oh, are you? Can you?
Yeah, we can hear you. now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm willing to type. I know the internet here's crap. So yeah, she'll hand you the comm link. It's just as a very obvious disdain for the girl that just left.
Yeah. Hawk's gonna look at it for a second, then like turn it back towards you, angle it so like the other people don't see, and just say password.
And her digits probably a couple times with her giant fingers on the small human troll.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go through. I have computer knowledge, but I can roll if you need to. I want to set it up so her phone vibrates when she gets messages.
I'll let you buy the hits on that Logic Computer 1 test.
Yeah. Hawk's gonna take a second, enable that. No ringtone, because that's how you die later. But just set it to vibrate, and then power it down, or just hit the button so the screen goes away. Hand it back to her and say.
Are you gonna tell her about it? Because then it's gonna start vibrating, and she's gonna freak out.
Will this trigger motion sense when I'm sneaking?
Will this trigger motion sense when you're sneaking? I guess, yeah. Yeah.
So just take it, stick it in her pocket. I can do a sleeping attack.
You have cyber eyes. You don't need any of that.
Cyber eyes are not trodes. Or not.
I have eyes. They let me see. I'm not. What?
You don't need to. Aren't they part of the pan?
Yeah, for AR message, you only need the image link.
You can basically have your comlink.
No.
You cannot see have image link in my eyes. No.
If you don't have image link, comlink is not enough to see AR.
Oh, I'm fucking lying. I do have image link in my eyes. I actually added those.
It's default on cyber eyes. All of them do it.
Oh, well, perfect. Thank you. Yes. Apparently I do.
You just basically have voice to text and the opposite on your eyes.
Instead of
know how this shit works.
Those are custom-made eyes. She removed the image link from them.
I can turn it off, and I would turn it off because I don't want the -2 on a perception check for AR.
All right, and then Hoxton will explain, asking Alim to actually, I guess just asking you, because you haven't introduced yourself, asking you to show her what the Johnson has given us, and then explain the rest of the deal.
And he will very excitedly produce the ring and show it to Blue. So, I understand that you are quite an accomplished artificer yourself, an enchantress, right?
I was accomplished. Let me see. Blue will start turning it over and looking at it with her astral and cyber eyes.
Okay, so Blue, you can tell that this is a magical compound. So that takes advanced alchemical knowledge and experience to be able to do. It's a potency. Keep those in the same idea, same realm. So it was made at a force 4. It's a potency 3. And it is some kind of magic that will endow you with armor. It's the equivalent of the spirit strength magical compound, while it is not actually that. So essentially, upon activation, will give the user hardened mystic armor equal to the force for its potency in minutes.
I don't like the implication of that. Blue, what tradition does it look like it is?
It is Path of the Wheel.
Blue will hand it back to... Actually, no. Blue will start to hand it back and then just fold her hand over it and keep it.
The ring itself is definitely not troll-sized, so Blue's not going to be able to wear it.
She's not wearing it. She's just got it in her palm, and it's elf stuff.
And Blue, you can tell also the ring itself, the ring that it is made from, is not magical in any way. It's just the stone that's inside the glass part.
Yeah, I imagine it's just an artifice ring using artisan, and then they cover the stone with it to protect people from just touching it accidentally.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an awesome ring, though.
Yeah, if you want to keep the ring after you're done with the mission, you can.
Blueberry.
I think most definitely would like one of those two.
Yeah, I think if everything goes well, we have a pretty easy payday here between handing the magicians a couple of pieces of jewelry and the mundane people maybe getting some money, but we'll see. First things first, we've got a data file here, and we have a short amount of time to get this done. Let's go ahead and leave here, and I'll look at Blue as if, wanting that to be what she wants.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
also, Blue, very quickly, you can tell that this magic, whoever created this also knows how to fixate things, so like its potency will degrade over days instead of hours.
Okay. Yeah.
My car's not far, and then I'll start heading that way and say, anybody need a lift?
I would appreciate one, since I came here by taxi. I am so bad. I'm trying to make a voice, but I'm so bad at this.
It takes some time. You might not get it on your first run.
I'll follow you so I don't leave my car on Council Island.
I have my own car too. So we have 3 cars.
So I'll drive with Hoxton then.
Yeah. And as we're all separating to our cars, Hoxton will, cough. He'll set up a DNI request to get everybody talking in the same voice chat.
Just as he starts the engine, Tortoise will accept.
Yeah. Alim would accept it too. So, Mr. Hoxton, Rufy did talk to me about you. Seemed to like you a lot.
Probably like getting in the car and getting settled in. Hoxton doesn't really stop. Says, so. Who are you?
Yeah. I am. Well, guess he might have called me Uncle Wright. If he ever talked about me. You know how the youngsters are.
Don't believe he did.
Doesn't surprise me.
That bastard.
Never a thought for the family. From what Louis told me, you and some others raced to his aid, and well, must say I am thankful for that, even if things didn't pan out as well. You know, he gets like a bit of a sad face for a moment. In any case,
we'll turn and kind of like put a hand on his shoulder as you get into the passenger seat. Just kind of like clap it a couple of times and say, from what I understand, Rufy did a good job. He protected some of his team, and that's all we can ask for around here.
That damn boy was stubborn. I meant to say that it is good to find an honorable man. That's what I heard about you, and it is good to know. And well, I wanted to thank you.
Yeah, Hoxton kind of just furrows his brow and thinks for a moment, but doesn't answer.
He will drop the subject. No.
Yeah, turn, start the car, and say, honor's a funny thing. It seems to be fluctuating a lot around here, but we try to make do. Let's keep that in mind while we're on this job together. By the way, what is it exactly you do?
I am, well, used to be a talismonger. Now I am apparently shadow runner. I taught Rufy much of what he knew, although that damn bat always got in the way. No way to teach a boy proper discipline if he can become invisible and sneak his way away.
Yeah, could have used to learn how to throw a ball at some point in his childhood, by the way.
Well, he got to me after his childhood, I'm afraid. I only picked up after his parents passed away.
Fair enough. Another word to the wise, as heart-wrenching as these shadow runs are going to be. Should keep your personal life a little bit more personal. some people around here, well, they'll exploit them.
Well, not an honorable man.
Not an honorable business, as we pull out.
I assume you guys are going to the Ale and Whale?
Gonna quickly scan the file for venue location, just so that like if it ends up being like across the street from the greenhouse, we're not driving back here in 20 minutes.
No, the file will tell you essentially that there is a meeting that's going to be taking place near Yellowstone in like 2-ish days. But several of the delegates of that meeting are in Seattle right now, and that they're if you guys want to like meet and like discuss this stuff, I'll give you the whole story. Otherwise, that's you get the sense that you are fine going and meeting at the Ale and Whale.
That was all. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't relevant. Like we were 12 feet away from where we ended up needing to be. So yeah, once I see that they're just in Seattle, or not even in Wyoming, then yeah, I'll suggest, why don't we grab a table at the Ale and Whale and dig through this file.
All right.
Very well.
Tortoise will go metal to pedal.
Blue will just program her grid guide to follow Hoxton and over go to the Ale and Whale.
Okay, you guys make your way to the Ale and Well. Louis will give you all a nod. He'll actually send you guys over some drinks. Apparently, there's still a little bit of money left from the bursary that Anapest gave in light of Rufy's passing. So the drinks are on the Alim's tab for the foreseeable future.
Well, at this point, Tortoise will learn the Alim and Rufy was related, actually, I believe.
Well, I don't know, because that conversation was had in the car.
But
I was planning to talk about that, but after Hoxton's stern advice, he'll probably keep it to himself.
But when we arrive at Ale and Whale, drinks and also the what?
Unless Louis says something, which is also very likely. Well, not very likely, but possible.
Louis is not going to offer up any information that you don't.
So, okay.
I guess no then.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, so we grab a booth, take a drink, and share the file around, and start looking in.
Start looking in. All right. So the plan, as it stands, this is going to be a little bit of a expositional dump for you guys. So strap in. The Sealy Court is holding what is called a Geasmere in 2 days. So today being one of those days at 11-ish. Tomorrow night, there's going to be this large gathering of important individuals near Yellowstone for some kind of meeting. It seems that this is like a function that the court, certain members of the court are able to call in times of need or deliberation. So it's kind of a big deal that one has been called at all, which is why there is short notice. It's something that is not planned, it just happens, and the court is expected to, those who are available are expected to respond. You don't have a guest list, you just know that a number of important individuals are going to be there. One of those individuals, though, is a man named Marcus Coe. Marcus is a courtesan of the Sealy Queen herself, though while he is supposedly has her ear and is a close confidant, he's not necessarily the highest person in rank. He's more like a courtier that the Queen has taken favor to, which elevates his position slightly, but doesn't mean that he is some kind of super powerful ancient elf who can just like obliterate you with a thought. He is known known for being quite the artificer and artisan himself. It tells you that he's an adept and not a magician in any way. He creates mostly imbued items and just very beautiful artisanal work in general. And part of the Gaiasmere and like this meeting, along with it, is every time one is held, concurrently there is what's called a goblin market held, which is just this kind of like a tangential meeting of these various beings who just happen to attend on the Sealy members, and because their masters have all gathered, they all gather as well. And it's this time of open trade of magical goods and artifacts, and they happen all over the world at different times. They don't always happen when these meetings happen. They are very irregular, but when they do have the opportunity to happen, essentially a place and date are chosen very short notice, and a whole host of different beings attend. They're known to be like extremely powerful, and rare goods are exchanged then. For those of you, actually probably none of you know very much about the Sealy Court. The Sealy Court itself are caretakers of extremely powerful magical artifacts, and part of their mission as a group is to recover a number of artifacts that were lost. So part of the goal of these goblin markets that they hold along with these meetings is to try and like draw on these artifacts from across the world, with the promise of other powerful magical aids. Marcus Coe, the individual that you're looking for, he is going to be attending the Goblin Market and selling some of his goods there. And he's also going to be attending the Gaiasmere, the big meeting in Yellowstone, in a few days as well. So those are basically the two opportunities you are sure you'll know where he is. After that, you can try and figure out where he's staying in Seattle before the meeting, or you can like try and figure out another way to reach him. The Sealy Court has a very different way of keeping information. They have these attendants that they call keepers. They're essentially humans, individuals who trade away part of their life for favor, and then information, memories are stored inside of their brains. And while they are in this state, it's very much like the zombification process, where they're just kind of reduced to these like half dormant, half living, very obedient states, where they just essentially serve as these receptacles of information. And in order to access this information, you need to have an artifact that is linked to the deal that was made to turn them linked to the deal and the ritual that was made to turn them into these keepers. Once you have that artifact, it's called a corporal emblem. You can access the information that's inside their head. The reason that this is so advantageous and such a big opportunity is because normally these keepers are only in Fairy, the metaplane. So the fact that Marcus is going to be outside of Fairy and with his keeper is a tremendous vulnerability that probably a courtier who is as young as and experienced as Marcus does not realize that he is making, and offers Amaranth a very critical opportunity to get information about the Sealy Court that he would never be able to otherwise.
The hell did we get ourselves into?
So
Some Harry
we need
Potter
to
shit.
steal a man.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. Good thing that I asked that we didn't need to steal a man's part.
No, we're taking his eyes and his fingers with him.
Yeah.
The data file also lists a number of different things about Mr. Coe himself, and like a number of different avenues that you might be able to use to access his person. It lists his mortal supplier. There are certain materials that are difficult to come upon within the metaplane of Fairy itself. So Coe has a supplier in Seattle that he usually uses to get certain materials from Earth. There also is information on the person who is organizing the goblin market itself, which you and because of such short notice, the goblin market is very much a laissez-faire policy where you can just kind of show up and open your own booth, and it gives information on how to contact this individual, and essentially you can just contact this individual. They will give you the information of where it is, and you can set up your own booth, which might be an avenue the alchemists decide to take if they want to like set up a storefront and try and find at the market. It also, the data file also offers information on how to contact agents of the Unseelie Court who are planning to possibly sabotage the big meeting, the one in Yellowstone itself, which it says that you might be able to use Amaranth's name with them, and possibly they might take you along for the infiltration of the larger meeting if you want to try and get code there.
Do either of you have the means to facilitate a storefront?
I have some negotiation skills, maybe that can help.
Well, we would need something that would catch this Marcus's eye. Something magical in nature, most likely.
Alas, I closed my shop.
I have some weird thing.
Weird's probably good for you people, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Weird is different, and different is desirable.
Yeah, some time ago I found this weird move. We did a run and I got this weird bracelet thing that is an old-timey pistol. And it's made from a long time ago. I don't know what it is.
That is weird.
It's something you put the bracelet on and then it takes your blood and you have to shoot something. It's really an odd piece.
That sounds horrible.
Kept it for a while. The Johnson hired us to chase him down and kill him. Anyway, I've kept it, intending to disenchant it. I'll have it.
Well, we may just be able to use something like that to lure Marcus to us, in which case we can take his friend. I like the sound of that better than waging a war with the bad people against the not so bad people.
You are not paid enough for a war.
Hoxton, you probably don't have any knowledge skill that would relate to this, but do you have any kind of like politics related knowledge skills?
I literally have the politics knowledge skill.
Oh, that would be perfect. Roll me that.
And although at much lower ranks, I also have magical cults and societies, as well as magical artifacts.
I feel bad saying roll magical cults. Maybe roll magical cults and society, because that makes me feel better about the Seelie Court. Oh, that is great. Okay, so Hoxton, you know that the dynamic between the Seelie and Unseelie Court is not a good guy, bad guy thing. The Seelie and Unseelie is essentially just the Seelie Court are the official ruling body, and the Unseelie are the rebels, essentially. There is no one bad guy or one other bad guy, and the Unseelie exists in a very much less official capacity. It's not like there's the Seelie Court that sits with their queen, and then there's the Unseelie Court that sits with another queen. It's the Unseelie Court is rumors and whispers, and nobody knows who's really a part of it, and nobody really knows where they gather, and no one really knows what their agenda is. The Unseelie Court is more like our modern day Anonymous, where like a lot of people claim to be a part of them, but nobody really knows who runs it or what they really want.
Yeah, I don't know. I might still consider that good guy, bad guy, but I'd have to.
That is totally up to you.
A matter for another time. For now, I think it's safe to say we'd rather tackle this guy here in town, right?
Yes, that sounds most amenable.
We need to, gosh, like Hoxton like rereads this file. Like, we need to locate this Marcus individual, who will be in the company of his keeper, which is the object we need to obtain for our Johnson.
Oh, remember, so there's two things you need to obtain. There's the keeper, which is essentially the receptacle of information, and then there's also an object. This probably looks like a coin that is on Marcus's person, which allows the person who holds the coin to access the information.
Oh, good.
Does the keeper are they like functional, or are they completely out of it and walking around like zombies?
It doesn't really offer a lot of information in that regard. It kind of just says that like the keeper is essentially this indentured servant. So if this keeper is loyal to Marcus and like will protest, you don't know.
Yeah.
We know the Goblin Market is happening somewhere in Seattle. Is that correct?
Yes, it's happening somewhere in Seattle, and you have the information to contact the person who's running it.
So we could try setting a stall, but then what? How are we to attract this man's attention enough to get access to his coin?
Well, you got a bracelet that wants your blood and will make you kill people with an old-fashioned pistol. Like, wouldn't that get you in the door?
Probably. But what after that?
What type of artisan is this man? Is there any mention about what he likes, what he doesn't like, what he's interested in?
Actually, yeah. So he is he makes a lot of weapons. He seems to focus on like swords, but you probably suspect that's because he lives in a metaplane where like technology doesn't really get past the 15th century. But it seems that he is interested in all kind of weaponry.
I think we hit it on the head with this weird ass pistol.
So we kidnap him? Is that what you're suggesting?
Temporarily. There's nothing in the data file that says that he can't know that something's gone awry, is that correct?
Yeah, Amaranth never said that like he needs this to be hush hush. He just needs to get the information.
I trust my physical abilities, but I do not know if I can keep up with an adept.
Well, there's always the option of slowing an adept down. But if that's how we are going about this, do we even need to show up on the market, or just wait on the outside till he comes or goes, and follow him to wherever he makes home and hit him there? Or did the file contain his usual hangout in Seattle?
It doesn't tell you where he's staying in Seattle.
Okay.
He doesn't actually live in, to be clear, he doesn't live in Seattle. He lives on a metaplane.
Yeah, but I suddenly had the feeling that you told us that he usually stays in wherever when he's in Seattle.
So he has a mortal contact who feeds him a lot of materials from Earth to Fairy, but he doesn't actually have like a residence in Seattle. So you can try hitting up this mortal contact to learn more about like where he might be staying, but you're not completely sure.
That might be an approach.
Yeah, I mean, we can go that route and attempt to just bag him in transit. My thought about the artifact would be we can lower his guard, and then that will help Tortoise as well as the rest of us get a leg up on a potentially powerful adept.
Well, we could approach him out of the market with the artifact, saying that we've heard from our sources that such a skilled craftsman who is focused on the making of weapons could make an excellent use of this artifact. and that we would like to set up a trade with him for this specific item out of the halls of the...
Basically that, just without the alarmed suspicion of 4 people approaching you, a random person during a busy market, and saying, we know who you are and that you want this, meet me somewhere random. We're going to make him come to us, and he'll be at ease while he does it.
This guy is an artist. I mean, what kind of artisan skill this guy possesses?
That was what the weapon was. He likes the craftsmanship of a variety of weapons.
Oh, that's that. Okay.
Don't know much about politics and whatnot, but I don't know that we can get him to come to us, basically. He sounds snobby.
Well, he'll be in the market. It'll just require some effort on our part to get him to want to come and see what we have.
We approach...
I don't like spirits, but I'm willing to offer this thing to him to get it out of the wool realm.
Well, ideally, we won't have to let him keep it. It will just be bait for a trap.
What kind of contact is the one that he buys stuff from?
What kind of contact? He's a fence.
Okay. But is he a fence on specialized in magic items?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we could approach this fence with this bracelet and ask him if he knows of any of his clients who would be interested in a most unusual weapon. Which
idea.
Hopefully would be our man, and then that'll be our way in. He comes meet us, and then I don't know. Then it's probably the purview of you more experienced runners, how to set up I don't know. Should we do an ambush? We just follow him home.
Well, we definitely need a plan B if he doesn't show up at the place that we try to lure, where we try to lure.
That is very true.
Yeah, what's the dossier say about the Goblin Market in terms of timeline before he would then be leaving Seattle, I guess, for the bigger meeting?
So the Goblin Market is likely to take place at some time tonight. It is a very, very unorganized kind of thing. Like, there's no... The dossier itself does not give a lot of information about, like, when it's even likely to happen. It seems like there is no constants about when these things are held or where they're held or anything like that, beyond that if you break market law, bad things happen.
Just a fancy yard sale.
Essentially, it's a flea market or a meat swap kind of thing.
I
Bad
love
things happen.
goblin markets.
Like, if you essentially along the idea of, like, this is a kind of subtle community that gathers every now and then, but if you double cross somebody, or if you're selling fake goods, or if you make bad on a deal, then, like, you are going to be exiled from the community, and everybody there is going to hate you. Same way, like, in the shadow community, you don't make a deal with a dragon, nobody will deal with you after that. Same thing within this, like, group of artificers and alchemists. You don't fuck with shit at the Goblin Market.
I would like to try something. I will try to find let's say a local guy, a Turkish guy, let's say, a marketeer that abides in the place. By my contact, Anne is my brother. What was his name? Typhoon. Yeah. I would like to call Typhoon and if he knows anyone from the market that could help us with our quest.
Do you mean Tropic? Oh no, Typhoon. Okay, I see.
Typhoon,
Hector.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Hector.
Gotcha. Okay. So he's an ID manufacturer.
But but the point is, he's my brother is Turkish too, so we both came here. So, but he came here before me, before like 6 years ahead of me. So he might have lot more Turkish people around in the Seattle. So I will try to ask him if he knows anyone from the market that could help us in any way.
Are you trying to do your networking role?
Yeah, so you're essentially asking for your contact here to try and reach out to someone who might know what's going on with the market, right?
Well, we try to lure the guy into with an artifact of some sorts and lure him to us, right? So essentially, I was trying to find a guy that can provide this scene as it is ready. What's not for that?
Okay. Well, you do have the contact information of the person who's running the market. If you still want to try and find another person who's associated with it, you can. We can work through your contact to see if he might know somebody. But seems like it's a pretty select and exclusive group. So like. It will be kind of random happenstance if he happens to know somebody. You'd probably want a more magical contact.
We are talking about Stefano Tallberg. This is a former Shadowrunner, Fixer and Fencer, now Artifact and Power Shockman. This is the guy from the...
This is some of the information you have in the dossier. Stefano is Marcus's fixer, is Marcus's fence. He gets Marcus special materials from the Sixth World and sends it over across the metaplanes. Valerie Stone is the person who runs the Goblin Market, and you have her contact info.
So
I confused a little. Sorry about that. Okay.
No worries.
I'm not sure about this point. Is the entrance to the market limited? Is if you know where it is and you can make your way there, you can enter? Do you need an invite?
Yeah, the latter. If you know where it is and you can make your way there and you've talked to Valerie, then you basically can just get in and set up a stall.
Okay. But what about going in as a client, basically, without setting up a stall?
Yeah, no, if you know where it is, you can just show up and buy stuff.
Okay, so it seems that we know where it is and we have a possible hook.
But you don't know where it is. You need to figure out where it is first.
All right, listen up, guys. We need to contact Valerie if we want to know where the market is. In essence, getting permission to go there. That's if we want to go that route. The risk of going that route is that if we cross this man, it means that the entire market will blacklist us, but hate us, and potentially take action against us. The alternative plan is that we go and meet with Stefan, I believe the name was, the fence for Marcus. However, that person's connected to the Shadow community, and as such, if we then go through that person, get Marcus's attention, and then double cross them, we now have the Shadow community, to potentially see backlash from. Those are our options. Alternatively, we try to find some other way entirely, but I guess the third option was the Unsaley court to go in essentially full-on war.
Well,
I have no interest in helping. I have an interest in the shadows. I have no interest in the market. Let's talk to Valerie.
Okay, that is what I want to hear.
We might also stalk the market and just follow him afterwards.
It's going to require making a deal with Valerie, which means our names will be on the plate.
Yes. Well, but as long as we do not break market law, which I don't think it would extend.
I assume getting an invitation to the market and then following one of its members and kidnapping his prized possession may consider breaking market law.
You definitely get the sense that market law is not a codex of laws you can and cannot break. It's more just an unwritten code of conduct.
No.
Yeah, like if you're there, don't bag anybody that is also there at any time in your life. But that.
Hoxton,
Oh yeah,
if
sorry.
you're sneaky, I might be able to make a paper lotus that you can change out his coins for.
That's
He'll know it's not real at some point, but when it gives time to run.
That's kind of what I was thinking. We can potentially separate him from this keeper, palm out the coin, and that'll buy us a little bit of time. Like I said, I think it's going to take a distraction, which I feel like we could do with this artifact of yours, but it is at risk then of potentially being lost.
That's fine. I've wanted to get rid of the damn thing since I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so
When
in
did you
terms
get
for a
it?
plan, it sounds like we're gonna contact Valerie.
Going with Valerie.
Okay, so who's gonna contact Valerie?
I want to volunteer, but Hoxton will say first off that like I don't speak Mojo, and I want
Blue.
yeah.
Blue will point at Alim. She's an elf, and they only like each other.
Alim will like give a deep belly laugh. She's not wrong. Some of them are like that.
Most of you are like that.
Aw, you wouldn't be.
We need the location of the market because we have goods to sell. Don't mention Marcus. Don't mention anything about our operation.
Very well. I have 3 minutes. I would like to try a thing for going through.
Go powder up.
You still have that increased charisma going?
I actually used it for the negotiation, which I didn't even need
Okay,
to, but yeah, it would have poofed by now. Anyways,
gotcha. So did you want to make something, or are you just gonna try something else?
yeah, I'm gonna make something. I'm just trying to take into account what Nekoya was telling me. So basically, I start from 2. Means I can go up to 5. Okay.
For your drain?
Yeah. If I go at force 5, it's gonna be drain 4.
Yeah, force 5 is always. Yeah, I always do my preps instead of force 5 because the drain doesn't matter depending on anything lower. Yeah.
Caps at 5.
Yep. You
I'm
roll
still
5
not-
dice.
Certain that's how it is, but it's fine.
100% certain. You can go read it in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, no.
I've played
I'll-
Chaos for a long time.
Yeah, you'll probably end up being completely right. But it's just okay. It's
So
fine.
you get 2 potency and 5 force. You have 7 dice
yes.
to roll.
Okay. So after 5 minutes of tinkering around, now I have to roll the drain. Yeah, well, I didn't do the drain properly. So I have to. I'm 2. So at this point, I will pop one of the resist pains, so I don't. So I'm not in pain, basically. That gives me 2, so that means it's 5 by the time I get the first 5 boxes. By the time I get okay, so I'm fine at the time being. Just one away. Okay, he will come back and be like, okay, I'm ready.
Just to be clear, what was the first preparation? Increased charisma?
Yeah, it was all an increased charisma.
Okay, cool.
And then I popped my resist pain because I got up to 4 drain.
Yeah, you got some stun. Okay, so you got. So you're gonna trigger your increased charisma and call Valerie.
Yeah, as I'm calling her.
Okay.
Wait. What were Hoxton's
recommendations?
directions?
Don't
We are-
mention anything about the operation. Essentially.
Yeah.
I don't want you to bring up Marcus. I don't want you to bring up, anything anything other than the fact that you are a artificer who has valuable
Yeah.
things that you want to be sold, and yada yada yada. I think that, is there anything in the dossier about? Are we supposed to mention our Johnson's name, or was that only if we went to the Unseelie?
That's only if you go to the Unseelie.
Okay, so yeah,
Otherwise,
don't bring up our Johnson
don't bring up Amaranth.
Yeah, don't bring up Amaranth, don't bring up our operation. Just mention that you have artifacts and you'd love to get a chance to sell them to noble people. And then do the secret elf handshake, and we should be in.
Yeah.
So you're gonna give her, what are you gonna do? Call her via comlink or send her a text-based message or what?
I will call her via comlink.
Okay. So she'll pick up on the other end, and you'll just hear a kind of curt. It's a kind of deeper female voice that just says, "What?"
Is this Valerie I am speaking with?
Well, if you got this number, then you know this is Valerie.
So I've been informed there is an excellent chance in town to meet and buy and sell.
Lots of chances in town. Freaking dragons live here. You gotta be more specific than that.
A very specific, very unusual market is opening up soon for a very limited time.
You'll kind of hear her pause for a moment, and then she'll kind of venture up and she'll say, "That might be true. What's it to you?"
I might be interested in attending.
You looking to buy or sell?
A little bit of both.
She says, "We don't just let anybody who thinks they can squeeze a little bit of mojo into some gravel into this kind of place. We have standards. You got a reputation you can go off of?"
Well, you may have heard of Uncle Wright's Cool Sands Bazaar. Has sadly closed. There's a stuffer shack now, but it used to be good.
Okay, roll me a negotiation with a +2 for plausible evidence, because you actually did run a store.
Yeah. I'm going to roll the effect of this thing. So that was... Oh shit, I forgot. It was 2 and 3. Oh,
Yeah, potency
2 and
2,
5.
2 and 5, so 7
That's
dice.
6. Yay, so I get 3 more. You said negotiation +2, right?
Yeah.
Alright, that 7, 10, 12.
Nice.
Oh, come on, you play ball.
She'll kind of like, you can see her kind of acquiesce a little bit, and she said, "Actually, yeah. A few of my guys headed down to your place once or twice and picked up some goods. They said it was quality stuff. I think I might have even used some of your reagents to make a dram of orchalcum a little while ago."
To make what, sorry?
Orchalcum, the
Oh,
super super reagent.
Yeah. That is good to know. I'm always proud that my creations are put to good use.
And then she'll say, "So why'd you close down then? And why are you looking to sell at the market?"
Well, the life of a shopkeeper was getting stagnant. Interesting as it is to sell Chubit wants to wannabe sorcerers. Well, it was time to move on.
No offense then, Mr. Ray, but find a little suspicious that you were able to get this number then. How exactly did you come by it?
Oh, I shouldn't reveal all of my secrets, should I?
we're a pretty tight knit community, and yours is a name I've never heard on anybody's lips before.
But you just said you've used my reagents before.
Yeah, the same way that I head down to Stuffer Shack to get some produce. Doesn't mean I know the names of the farmers who made them, or I guess the factories that made the soy.
You compare me to Staffordshire? That is ridiculous.
She kind of says, well, if you're a garden variety talismonger who's got a shop open to the public, you're more or less the alchemical equivalent of a Stuffer Shack, Mr. Raid.
Well, that's just preposterous.
If
you
you don't like
haven't
the terms,
seen any
we don't have to come to the market, and you can hear her like kind of receding in the conversation.
You haven't seen any of my most interesting wares. It's not my fault.
You
Do I
got some
need to
interesting wares?
Of course.
Okay, roll me a con at a -1 because she's a little bit suspicious of you.
Well, apparently con is a skill I never picked up somehow. So great.
Nice. So you can see that she thinks that you aren't full of shit. Like, she knows that you are a competent alchemist, but she's a little bit unsure about like what your actual interest in the market is.
Look, Miss Bantan. The fact that I don't own a produce shop anymore doesn't mean I'm done with magic or with offering my products. I still create alchemical preparations, I still gather reagents, and on my years of selling and buying, I've come across some interesting things. And I hear you are the person to talk to if one wants to offer them.
You can kind of she stops for a moment. She says, "Listen, Mark. Listen there, Mr. Raid. You're not the first person that we've had who couldn't make it as a talismonger or talismana try and worm their way into this community, hoping for a second chance."
It's not that I couldn't make it. Just got bored of it.
Your closed down shop that's turned into a Stuffer Shack might beg to differ.
Was making a comfortable living. I was just bored of a comfortable living. There's a difference there.
Make me another negotiation. This one will be just at a -1.
Negotiation. You know, I just checked the test and I already forgot it.
Okay, nice. Okay, so she'll have a nice. Okay, so you can hear her kind of acquiesce for a moment to say, "Listen, Mr. Raid, I'm not questioning your talent. I know that, but there's more to being an alchemist than just making goods. You also gotta be a businessman. You gotta know who to talk to and how to talk and what to sell. So what I'm willing to do is, if you'd like to meet me a little bit later today, and you can bring some of these artifacts that you proclaim, these oddities, I'll give them a look over, and if they are what you say they are, then I'll give you a pass to the market. If not, then I'll never talk to you again. How's that sound?"
Miss Jumpsters. Very well. If I must prove myself once again.
She'll kind of say, "Well, you shouldn't have anything to worry about if what you're saying is true." So, and then she'll give you a meet location at a time in about an hour.
Okay. Well, see you in an hour then.
She'll kind of say, "I look forward to it," and then she'll hang up.
Oh. I was like deflate. I'm like, whew, that's the most intense sales pitch I've had in years.
Yeah, how did it go?
Well, she didn't give us an in of hand, but she agreed to meet and examine our goods to see if we. Well, I am being honest and on the level. Um, she might not quite want the lot of us to appear. Although I think it's reasonable for a man to bring some friends along to protect his goods. But it's always a balancing act.
Goods. What kind of goods do we actually have? We've got this one thing. Do we have anything else we can show her?
I don't think anything else is. Well, we have the ring too.
That can't be traced back to Art Johnson.
When I assessed them, they weren't related, right?
No, the ring doesn't carry Amaranth's astral signature.
The ring. Well, if I understand, the Silly and the Ancilly are another metaplane, right?
Yes.
So it's probably some of them, but yeah. Not Art Johnson.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Amaranth and the woman were both human.
Yeah,
yeah. Or meta-human, at least.
Yeah. No, I'll answer to Hoxton. Not Art Johnson. Maybe someone he has connections with, but he offered it as a way to barter in this market, so...
Can I burn a point of common sense? I don't know exactly how relevant it is, but it seems like a potential bread trail to information we're not supposed to share.
The ring?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you that current common sense there. What's it called? Hoxton. The ring itself is like very suspicious for you guys to have. If you present it in a setting where you don't know what Valerie knows, especially when she doesn't know how you guys got her number, it could send off some really big red flags for her. The stuff that Alim is going to present to her needs to either bear his astral signature to show that like it's something that he made himself, or it is something that is just like an actual oddity that's kind of strange. The rings are preparations, so that means they had to have been made a little while ago. So the fact that Alim has an item that he didn't make and he's trying to sell it is suspicious.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I feel decently okay with the bracer thing, because he at least set up the fact that in his days he's traded and whatnot, procured items. So the fact that he didn't create it, at least he's set a background.
That's not suspicious. There are lots of weird magical items out there that just kind of float around. But preparations, if the alchemist themselves isn't the one who made it and is trying to sell it like that, it's very suspicious, because alchemical preparations, no matter even like the best alchemists, can't make a shelf life that lasts very long.
Right.
So he looks kind of like a fraud if he's trying to hawk something he didn't make himself.
But Amaranth said that we could use that preparation to barter in the market.
Wait, did he?
I'm pretty sure he said that.
He did. I'll give Hoxton another point in common sense and say that how much do you think Amaranth knows about alchemy?
Okay.
He's not an alchemist.
Yeah. Let's stick to the GM's advice when he says it's risky to show Valerie this thing and not show Valerie this thing.
Yeah. No, I was being confused, but then Hoxton, who's the more experienced Shadowrunner, was like, maybe sometimes the Johnsons have no idea what they're talking about.
I have I don't know if this market deals specifically in just magical, or potentially just oddities. I have an amulet that belongs to a semi-secret cult of Dunkelzan worshippers. Or was it the other dragon?
Yeah, that was it. That was it's Uncle Zan.
Yeah, I have Dunkelzan's dragon cult worshipper necklaces.
Yeah, that would totally be viable too, Hoxton. It doesn't just have to be like magical in the sense that it has like a magical ability. Like that reagents are a thing, and reagents can be anything in the world. So like if it's just an oddity in the sense that it might be magically tied, but doesn't have actual mana flowing through it, that's okay too.
Yeah.
It's a foci.
Oh god, I have all sorts of foci. This is so weird for Hoxton. I have a.
You've been randomly collecting shit. I don't even get to use it. We're just cleaning out our closets now.
Glitz B3 Faye gave me a foci. It's a little wooden statue. Shit, I always still have the bookmark. It's a little wooden statue, and it's I think it's an Obeya idol essentially, and it was like a rating 1 or 2 foci.
Okay, that works too. Again, foci are a thing. As long as the item essentially can just last into perpetuity, it's not weird if a talismonger is selling it. It's weird if it's a preparation that they make
these
themselves
are
and they're selling
definitely
it.
these are definitely just items procured. I mean, like legitly, these are things I've accumulated over the course of a year.
Exactly, and in the same way, Alim can say that I just happened to procure them in my time as a talismonger. So all of those kinds of little oddities would be good candidates to try and sell it.
I got a few more things that I've been collecting them so I can learn disenchanting and creations out of them.
Perfect.
What else do I got?
I am now a bit jealous of all the collections you have.
Yeah, I didn't ever think any of this stuff would matter. I've just been writing it down on my sheet. I also have a crayon drawing of a farm out in Redmond, and it was
Nope.
No. Hear me out. It was drawn by a 11-year-old girl who was possessed by some sort of demon.
What?
And it was coaxed out of her in a form of negotiation by Hoxton, where we were trying to get her to explain who did this to her, and she drew me a farm with all of her friends and family dead.
I mean, like that could work too. That might be somebody's reagent.
Yeah, I feel like it's highly emotional. Like whatever energy there was, like the scene was tense, was very very tense. And she was drawing that.
Sure, if you want to do something like that. Just offhand, looking at some of your guys' sheets, devil rat teeth might also work. Blue.
Whoa! That's my personal foci. There's a little string of teeth on a string. That's Blue will grudgingly like I have this stuff and start showing like her enchanting gloves, her foci. She's got a combat knife. It's engraved with Nordic ruins. Like
I'd love to be able to display the knife if we're able to get to Marcus himself.
You don't have to.
Also, things that like are intimately personal to yourselves might also work because they serve as symbolic and material links. And so, if you're willing to sell those,
don't worry,
people might be interested.
so yeah, Blue pulls a piece of hair out of Hox and said, "Like this will work."
Okay. I have a bald spot from all the magicians. I'd have a piece of my hair.
It's a ritual. But no, yeah, I have at least 2 or 3 actually crafted foci that I've made, though they are crude and not pretty. But some people might appreciate that.
So the two of you can present these things. Hoxton will have no problem handing over the various things that he's acquired, and then I guess Tortoise and I could be there as just help.
You could be an interested party. You and Blue are both interested parties, and Tortoise is my aide. Just in case.
We'll look at all this stuff together. There's no rhyme or reason to this. We're literally selling things that we've stolen from places. Do you think that would be a problem?
I don't suspect it will.
I mean, these 2 I crafted, but I don't know where all this other stuff came from.
Mostly finders keepers.
From the dossier in the Goblin Market, you get the sense this is probably what a lot of the stall people are actually going to be doing. It's just going to be a mishmash of like things they stole and have happened to find.
Good.
Or coaxed out of.
It's a magical flea market.
You could also say Alim is a traveler that comes from the Middle East that has mystical items that he got onto the way through all.
I love the idea of just not lying, because then we're not lying.
Yeah, I think we should stick with the fact that we're very obvious Shadowrunners and have acquired things in our work.
You have a very radical approach, Mr. Hoxton.
Tortoise snores.
You get caught in a lot less lies when you start telling the truth. And I think, like, off the bar light, Hoxton's little cross gleams a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I get it why you said that. Okay.
Say, alright, so we're not coming mostly empty-handed. We only have an hour, though, and I live about 20 minutes uptown. I'm gonna go grab my stuff really quick, and
Yes.
we'll meet you wherever she told us to meet you.
Has this a good time for us to break for you?
If we took a break right now, it would end up being about 30-35 minutes.
Okay, cool. So we'll take a quick break here and meet back at roughly the 10-2.
Yeah,
Well,
worst
not a
case,
quick break.
worst case
An
scenario,
extended
just
break.
assume that Hoxton is there, but just, tall, dark, and brooding rather than talkative. But yeah,
Okay.
I do need to run. I need to run out for a moment. I apologize, guys.
No problem. But I didn't catch what is the length of the break? I didn't
About
catch
30
that.
minutes, so meet back here at 10 to the hour. 50 of
Ooh.
whatever time you are on.
Okay.
Todd, stop the recording.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask if it's easier to chop it out or if I should break it into 2 segments. I'll go ahead and break it.